guys, my name is Winnie, and if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are my biggest supporter, thank you so much. So guys, welcome here, and of course subscribe. Guys, don't forget to turn on your notification button so that every time I make a video you get notified. As you can see today, we are freezing. I'm freezing myself. I'm always cold, so I'm freezing. So guys, today I'm gonna make a video about buying a vehicle once you come to the US as a new immigrant, what you need to do, the process, the pricing, and I'm at the vehicle place, and I'm gonna show you how much you can get a vehicle in this. So guys, we all know that once you come to America, you will need a vehicle. But in Africa, having a car, having a vehicle or a car is not a necessity. But in US, it's like a basic need. You need a vehicle to move from point A to point B. You need a vehicle to go to work. You need a vehicle to go to the hospital, to go to the grocery store, even to go around your neighborhood, because this neighborhood are not safe. So you need a vehicle. Okay, you need a vehicle. Anyways, like I was saying, guys, once you get here, you will realize that public transportation is not for everybody. It's there, but if you live in downtown, it's good. But if you just don't live downtown or work in downtown, it's not good for you. And even catching public transportation, you have to go there, unasimama, like it's cold, you're freezing, waiting for the bus to get at your place, because they have like buses operating different times, different routes at specific time, you know, not all the time. So it's so hard to catch a bus sometimes. But once you get here, you will need a vehicle to move from point A to point B. For the first few weeks, if you have friends, they can drop you, or you can, you know, use friends, church members, they can drop you. Your host can drop you. But after learning the place, going to work and all that, you will need a vehicle for you to move from point A to point B, going to work, doing every other thing. But what do you need to know? You need to know that buying a car is so easy in the US. Don't worry about it. You will need it. Do not worry about it. If you dreamt about driving a car, once you come here, you will drive a car. Whether you like it or not, you will. So, but before that, remember, you can buy a vehicle in this place from someone. The people who have like 2 vehicles, maybe they don't want the 2 vehicles that they have, they can sell. Maybe your host has 2 vehicles, they can give you 1. Or if you don't have someone to give you a vehicle, you can actually buy from them, or buy from a friend who is selling their used vehicles, or you can just go to the car dealer and buy a vehicle. The good thing about buying a vehicle from a car dealer is that those cars are serviced, maintained, and they're good to run. But buying a car from someone, maybe it's a junk, it can break anytime, and you don't want that to happen when you're driving, and then your engine shuts in the middle of the road, in the middle of the highway, from nowhere. It's not driving, it's not fun, right? So guys, but with all that said, you can just go anywhere and buy a vehicle. For example, I'm showing you these prices. You see, like this one here, it's a Honda Civic 2012, 174k miles. This is the dealer's warranty. How much is it going? It's an automatic vehicle, and it's actually selling for $8,997. Have you seen that, guys? Yeah. And for example, this vehicle, it's a Toyota Camry. Toyota Camrys are always like good vehicles. This is a Toyota Camry. This is a buyer's guide actually. Toyota Camry 2012, 144k miles, and see how much it's costing. It's costing 9,997. As you can see, this one here, it's a Honda Accord 2010, 190k miles, and let's see how much it's costing. It's going for it's selling for 7,997. So first of all, once you come to this place, you will need a vehicle to move from one place to another. The reason I'm saying that is because if you don't have a vehicle, you cannot function. So you need a vehicle doing your business, moving from one place to another, and of course going to work and all that. If you don't have a vehicle, someone has to drop you. They drop you off, but again you have to wait for that person to come and pick you, which is sometimes a pain. So guys, but when you come to this place, if you have lots of money, you can just come and buy a vehicle if you know how to drive, but you have to go and do driving for you to be able to know the roads, get the driver's license, or at least get a learner's permit before you go to the road. And then you need money to buy a vehicle. As we all know, in Africa, buying a car is not a necessity, but in America, it's like a basic need. If you don't have a vehicle, it's hard for you to go from point A to point B. It's like you don't have your legs, so you need a vehicle to do everything. So guys, I'm gonna show you the pricing and all that. First thing you need to do before you buy a vehicle is that you need to decide on what make you want. Also, another thing to know is the mileage of the vehicle and the year, because you don't want just to buy a vehicle because you're buying a vehicle. Decide on what you want. And one thing about high mileage is that vehicles with high mileage are sold very cheap. If you go for low mileage, of course you expect to pay high prices, high money. And then also, before you buy a car, you need to make sure that you decide on what features you want in a vehicle, but for the first timers, when you are buying a vehicle, you don't want to just be very picky, because sometimes if you're very picky, maybe you don't have money, you just want to get something that is going to move you from one point to another. Also, buying a car from a dealer shop, you are expected to spend more, like 4,000 to 5,000 more than buying from a local seller. But if you go to a local seller, you are assured of spending maybe 3,000 to 7,000, and that can get you a very nice car, but also with less mechanical issues. Also, somewhere else that you can buy a car in this place is you can get a car from Facebook sellers, Craigslist, online. Those are other places where you can get vehicles to buy. But anytime you buy a vehicle in this place, always make sure that you check that vehicle for inspection, because you don't want to be driving something that has not been inspected, for safety reasons and all that. You don't want to put yourself, at a very risky place. Make sure that you take your car for inspection. As a newcomer, these are things that most of us didn't even know about them. So guys, you are very lucky if you get to listen to this video before buying your new car. At least you'll have like a clue of what you're supposed to do. Sometimes friends can sell you a car for like 500, 700. Those are junk cars, but they run so good, especially Toyota cars like Toyota Camry. They do well. So like for example, this vehicle right here, as you can see, it's going for 9,997. As you can see, how much? So that's the pricing for this vehicle. So these vehicles on this side, the two of them, these are Kia. They're going for 997. You know how much that is? So guys, so this is Acadia. As you can see, this Acadia, it's costing 9,997, so close to 10,000. These two are Acadia, and then there's Kia. So these cars have been serviced and they're good to run. This is a Chevy right here. As you can see, it's lots and lots of vehicles in this place, and they have the prices like I said. For example, this one already, and these are used cars, by the way. This one right here has already been sold. If you have friends who sell vehicles, you can just go and buy from them. Buying a car from someone who is known is also a good thing, because sometimes if you don't have enough money, they let you like pay half of the money and then you finish the rest. Again, one more thing that you need to do is you need to work and save. If at all you need to buy like a nice vehicle, but here there's no nice vehicle when you're beginning your new life. You just need to come and buy a car and start moving, you know. So the good thing is you need to look for especially low mileage. Like this one tells you they have marked them so good. This has a low mileage. This one here is automatic, and of course you just need to make sure that you buy an automatic vehicle, because you don't want to come and buy a manual vehicle. So guys, like I said, here are the pricing ranging. These are if you're buying a car from a car dealer, you know, you have to spend at least 5,000 to 7,000, you know, from 5,000 to at least 10,000 for you to get a good vehicle. The good thing about buying vehicles from the dealer shop is that these vehicles are serviced, well maintained, and they have less mechanical issues. And the bad thing about buying vehicles from like local person is that sometimes those vehicles are not serviced, so they are at risk of breaking down anytime you're driving on the road because they're junks. But when you buy a vehicle from a dealer, these vehicles are well managed, well maintained, and well serviced, and they give you like assurance of you like driving longer time without having mechanical issues. So guys, once you decide, buying from someone will, of course, you will get a cheaper vehicle, but buying from a dealer, you will have to at least 5,000 to 12,000 Kenyan shilling, like we have seen here, for you to get a nice vehicle. But if you know someone who has a good vehicle, you can actually go and buy a car from them from as low as 500 and above. I remember my first vehicle that I drove was for $700. That was a junk, but it was a Toyota, and it was running so good. So guys, once you decide, because like I said, if you have a good credit score, that's one thing for you that can help you buy a vehicle. I hope you have liked the video about buying vehicles in the US. Now, before you go, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, drop your comments, Let me know what you think about buying vehicles in the US as a newcomer. Do you have an idea right now? If you came here, what will you do? Will you go buy a vehicle, a junk vehicle, or will you just save and buy a vehicle from the dealership? Either way, it doesn't matter. All you need is a vehicle to move you from one place to another. Once you get in there and it's moving, you don't even worry about how that vehicle looks like. Go to work, sacrifice your time, work, and then once you save money, it's easier for you to buy a good vehicle. But once you come here, like I said, you need a vehicle from moving from point A to point B.